So here's my setups that I have. Oh, hi. The first section I have is this section, which is hand tool and miscellaneous stuff. So this top section right here is miscellaneous. I have like pencils, pens, notebook, radio, zip ties, this little retractable thingy, some patches, my RVC badge, painkillers. I have other safety glasses, but it's kind of a mess right now. But normally I would also have gloves in here too. And then other, like sometimes we'll have like plans or documents and we'll keep it in here because it's pretty weather tight. And then after that we have our, this is for layout. So we have a layout, and I kind of keep my ropes in here too, but some, it just depends. So chalk line, tape measure, some clamps. I have my tape measure around here somewhere, but it's not in here. Normally I'll keep it right here. And then some rope. Yeah. And this is just a trash roller that I have that I was marking up the other day. So that's the layout. And this last section is for hand tools. So, you know, like channel locks. What you doing? This is like a super useful tool that you could use it for many things, like finish concrete when it's like a little crack or crevice, stuff like that. My little hand tool section. Definitely more, but it's all kind of a mess right now. This is where I keep my tool bags, right here. So these tool bags, ugh. These are the big oxys, and what I did is I actually got two of the same one. So this is a big oxy right here, and this is also a big oxy, but this you'll see is in the back because they're identical bags, and the reason why is because I just liked it symmetrical feeling. So on this side I will generally have hand tools. So I would have that. Sometimes I would have like a channel locks that I would keep like right here, or maybe if the channel locks are like more supportive, then the channel locks would be over here. It just depends on like what task you're doing. So I have that. This is for smaller bits, bigger bits, and also I'll keep my driver in here too. So my driver would go in here. This is for sometimes I'll actually keep snacks in here, or like my phone. Here is where I have my phone case. I have that right here. Here is where I would keep my like pens and pencils. So I'll have my little pencil right here, or sometimes I'll keep it in here. It just depends. Sometimes you have your marking stuff, and you'll have your I'll have like my pencil up here, and I'll have a Sharpie right here, and it just depends on what you're doing. So that's where I would keep that. And the reason why you'll notice I have different zones. This is the front kind of zone right here, and what this is for when you're actually doing the work, and you're in the position you want to be. So let's say you kind of get into this position and you're working right here, right? And I know that, okay, I'm going to need my channel locks. I set that. This will be here. Use my linemen's, and I'll be working here. Then if I am working on a kind of repetitive process where I'm doing the same thing over and over, I'll just work on it, then I'll just throw it right here like that, and it's like really easy to get to. Then kind of move on to the next thing, pull it out, work, throw it in here, and it's a lot easier to do that than to stick it into these little slots, because you have to like neck over and then, you know, find this hole and then find that hole, whereas you just kind of have to look down, and it's really easy just to drop it in right here. So I kind of use these protectors as a quick access you know, thing where I would keep tools. These obviously mirror each other, this and this, and then these two and these two. And for bigger tools I would keep them in here. So for example, if I had my if I had scissors, sometimes I would keep it up here, or I'd keep it in the back. So in terms of sections, quick access, bigger tools. These are just hand tools, and then I'd have like fasteners and stuff in here, and smaller bits in here, sometimes special little bits that I would keep in here too. The gloves I would keep in here, like when you go to break. Then towards the back we have this section right here and this, and we have this section and this. And normally what I do is I keep my tape measure back here. I just clip it on to this little thing I made, and I keep my cutting things here. So I'll have my scissors and I'll have like my knife back here, and then back here sometimes I'll have like a clamp, or I'll have like a bigger tool. So if it's like something that I am using that day but it's kind of more rare, then I would keep it like back here, and that way it's out of the way, but if I need to grab it I could just get to it pretty easily. And then lastly I have this little hammer holder. I never really use this actually. Sometimes I do, but pretty rarely. And the same thing with back here. I never use this little clip back here. Okay. And then for what I have behind me, everything's kind of a mess right now, but what I would normally do is I'd have the way I carry my impact driver is there's two things. Number one is if I am able to go like this, which is in most situations, I just carry my driver right here and just let it hang. And what happens is the weight of this driver is normally balanced by the weight of carrying like a ton of fasteners on this side, so it kind of feels balanced. Sometimes though you're not able to put this in here, like if you're carrying something in here. So the other place that I put it is right here, and this is actually pretty stable in most situations, although I would not in most situations I wouldn't put it here in this kind of like FBI, you know, where they keep their guns on a vest thing, if I was up on a ladder, because it's kind of less stable, and sometimes it's not always gonna get in there. But yeah, normally I just keep my driver in here. This is my power tool box, and right now I'm keeping my shoes and my like back brace in here just for now. But the power tools I would put in here. As you can see, I can keep my blower, my hacksaw, and then also my driver. So these two, and that goes in here. And in the bottom section, we have the charger, and then I also have this is a continuous power source for like a fan, things like that. And then I would also have an extension cord in here too, but it's being used right now. And then this last drawer is the support for the tools. So I have bits I have in here, I have this, and then other pieces. I have some blades, this, and these are for like drilling and other bits and stuff like that. This is not really my ideal setup, but yeah. The reason why I keep this drawer down here and not here is because sometimes it'll rain and this will flood, and the water will come up to like around here, and I would rather have the water interacting with this stuff than water interacting with the electrical stuff like that. And that's okay. So then the last section is this is my tool bag thing, but at the end of the day or the end of a week, you will just collect all of these like bits right here. So I have these little sections for keeping them organized. So I would, do that. If I got some extra clips, I'll just throw it in here. Got some of these extra screws, so I'll just throw that in there, that kind of thing. And then what you could do is, as you collect more and more stuff, or you need different configurations, you could always buy another one. Can you not be here right now? What's up, baby? Alright. You could always buy more of these things, and then put another one underneath here, another one underneath there, and then that way your collection will grow per the jobs and trades that you do. And you could always label it right here what you need. So if you have like, this would be solar, and if you have like electrical stuff, you'd have electrical at the bottom, carpentry, like special woodworking bits you would have to. And you could do the same thing with here. So eventually I want to reorganize this, and I want this to be like cutting pliers and then clamps. But right now I'm just kind of getting away with what I can. But as you can see, it's starting to get kind of stuffed and hard to access. So yeah, I also keep some medical stuff. Like this stuff is super useful. Like if you get a cut, I've gotten tons of cuts on the job site, and you just take this, you wrap it up, and then that'll patch you up for the, take that and then take some that or some Aleve, and you'll be good for the rest of the workday until you could you know, so you could get some proper medical care. And that's about it. That's my tool bag setup. I think I explained this, that. Oh yeah, some of the hammer. You can tell how like organized we're. So I'd keep my my knife right here. It's out of the way. It doesn't really bump into you that much. Keep it right there. And these are the two hammers that I use mostly. It's a soft blow and my framing hammer. And both of these hammers would go back here. But obviously I wouldn't have to look back every time. I just kind of find the knock by going like that on the little rail, kind of go like that, and then I just drop it in. And it's the same thing for this hammer too. Find it, just drop it in. This last pocket I have is for bigger material or miscellaneous or stuff I have to keep clean, because I don't really access it and it's kind of behind me, so it tends to be cleaner. So like I'll always have like a rag with me in case something gets in your eye, or you need, cause it's super useful to have something clean with you on a job site. So having a rag, sometimes I'll keep like cookies in here or like dried mango or snacks are like super good to keep in here also. So just a good compartment to have back here to keep your stuff that you don't use too much but you need more space. Another application would be if you have like bigger bits of material. For example, you have this. Let's say you didn't, for some reason, need to carry something like this. Like I wouldn't really want to carry it here. I would probably just throw it back here, and that way it's out of the way and it's out of my work, away from all the movement that's going on. So I can do this and that and that and that. So yeah, that's my general setup. Some little tips and tricks that I do is this section right here can also be a quick grab section. So for example, if I'm using this right here instead of going like that, it's actually a lot easier just to throw it right here. And sometimes when you're working and you're pressed up against something right here, it's easier to grab this and then work with it and throw it back than to have to like go like that. Just it makes a big difference when you keep, sometimes you have to keep stuff up here. And then another thing you put up here is your knife. So sometimes if you don't want to have to reach back to grab your knife, I will put it up here, and it stays here. It's even a lot of people in the military will keep their knives up here because it's easy to get at. Oh man, yeah, just ignore that. Keep it up here. It's nice and easy to grab. Another place that I like to keep a knife is right here. And what I did is I cut these this threading out, and I put a bolt here to prevent it from tearing out even more. And I keep this right here, but sometimes I find that it will knock out if I push it forward like that. And obviously that's a pretty big no-no. So in terms of stability, keeping it up here is good, or keeping it back here, although it takes a little bit more effort, it is secure and I don't have to worry about it. And that's about it. I keep my phone up here, but when it's a really hot day, I will take my if it's a really hot day, I'll take my a bandana, wrap my phone up, and I will put it probably in one of these back pockets. And what that does is it actually insulates it from the heat a little bit better and prevents your phone from being damaged from the heat. So yeah, that's my setup. These obviously are not my construction clothes, but I just thought I'd make this quick video, explain the philosophy of my setup. Trying trying to see if I missed anything. Yeah, that's about it. In general, yeah, fasteners. I like to keep non-construction related stuff in this little back left pocket because I'm right-handed. So my phone would go in here, or if I have plans, I'll keep plans here, or I'll put plans back here. It really just, having more options gives you a small weight penalty, but a big utility gain. So having like an option for, I can put it here, or I can put it here, or I can put it here, actually the weight is not that substantial, but the utility is really, really, really great, especially in construction, because there's just so many things that happen, like, oh, I have these purchase orders, I need to write it down, I'll just put that in here, and I have a whole set of plans, and plans are like normally this big, and like I would have to put it back here, and like sometimes my phone, I would have it in here, and then I'd have another device and I would put it in here. You just never know, so it's always good to have like a couple more pockets than that what you would think that you would need beforehand, which is why I'm a pretty big advocate of having the bigger bags like this. And that's about it. So that's my tool bag setup.